German government places ban on Islamic cooperation based in Nigeria over terror links. The German government on Wednesday, the 5th of May, announced the ban of an Islamic organization based in Nigeria over alleged support for terrorism via movement of funds. According to reports from the German news agency dpa, police raided 10 buildings in German states associated with Ansar International. Ansar International was accused by the German authorities of sending money accrued in the guise of welfare projects to groups such as the Syrian Al-Qaeda affiliates known as the Nusra Front, the Palestinian group Hamas, and the Al-Shabaab in Somalia. The organization Ansar International and its sub-organizations were banned. The network finances terrorism globally with its donations, a spokesperson for the German Interior Ministry tweeted. The ministry quoted Interior Minister Horst Seehofer as saying, "When wanting to fight terrorism, one needs to dry out its money sources." Investigations reveal that Ansar International is also incorporated in Nigeria as an orphanage under the name of Ansar International West Africa. Seehofer stated that the new trend used by terrorist organizations to move funds include the upsurge of acts in terrorism and terrorist financing in the sub-region, the emerging linkages between West African extremist groups and international terrorist organizations, and provision of support by the latter to the former, the use of both legitimate and illegitimate means by terrorists and terrorist groups to raise funds for personal upkeep, recruitment, purchase of tools and equipment, the dissemination of propaganda, and the exploitation of formal and informal channels to move funds. The use of non-governmental organizations and charities as conduits for terrorist financing is also becoming more apparent. Meanwhile, former President Olusegun Obasanjo on the same day, the Wednesday the 5th, described calls for the disintegration of Nigeria as unmindful and insensitive to the plight of minority groups in the country. Obasanjo made this observation when he received the chief professional group from Benue State who paid him a courtesy visit in Abuja. Abeokuta. Okay, I don't even think that relates, but so I don't know. Again, it just shows how alone we are in this international thing. At the end of the day, with the way our country is going, I don't really think they can. It's safe for them to just get rid of, let's say, allies, because it's a bit like, okay, fine. It's a different thing if your country's been affected, but then again, if Nigerians outside the UK are going to be affected by this, I mean, what would Nigeria's relationship with the German government be like? Not that we should be desperate for it in any way. Doesn't really matter. But I think this is the lack of proactivity in the country can also affect international relationships and also our rep. I mean, to be honest, not like as if we have the most amazing brand. However, it's just, what would our relationship be like with international bodies? Well, somebody says, thanks to the German government. Well, the German government can only ban such interactions in their country. They can't necessarily ban it like full on. Someone says, please ban on APC. Well, they do not have the power. Somebody says, Baba, the minority will follow the majority of their choice. Better still stay on their own. Okay, so this is in reply to what Tinubu said about the disintegration of Nigeria. This was actually on the same day that Germany actually banned the Nigerian Islamic group. Somebody says, terrorism at its peak, pantami. What this pantami person has committed or allegedly committed is just so big that the accusations died off real quick. Obviously, we had proof of what he did, but again, he for the fact that he's, what was he, Minister for Technology and something else. Basically, his role involves keeping the information of the citizens in the country, especially the links to NIN, and of course, when we heard that he had terror or groups or links to terrorist groups, of course that sort of raised eyebrows. All right. Somebody says, good move. Our prayer is working and God is exposing them. Well, I hope so. Yes, I hope so. Someone says the truth must be exposed. May God continue to expose them in their secret places. Okay. Someone says the DSS and the SSS to arrest a German representative also inciting citizens against Nigerians. Or Lai Mohammed should tell Gaba Shehu with Femi additional to open their lousy mouths and tell us another lie from the foreigners who want to destabilize our nation. I'm sure this wicked people's time is up, and now it's time for open disgrace and shame. I don't think it's that intense, but yeah, a lot of things are happening. Well, someone also says terrorists everywhere. Buhari and his kinsmen. Well, you can say that. So again, I guess Germany is just protecting themselves. They should not even want to have links with countries where they have they're sending funds through German networks to terrorist groups. I mean, it's just they're protecting themselves. So again, as much as okay, fine, this is all that's happening, it's not like as if they'd be important in helping the Nigerian people actually get a better government. They wouldn't do that. You know that they wouldn't, because they only think about themselves. Not that they shouldn't, but it's like, let's not even go to the history of Germany and Africa. So yeah, I mean, obviously these issues, I think this just raises the fact that as Nigerians, we are in trouble if our leadership is bad. Because again, for diasporans, especially in Germany, how would it be for them? What kind of deals do they have? What kind of immigration laws would be set, let's say, specifically against Nigerians? Because again, maybe, as they've said, they just don't even want to be associated with such. So yeah, and as for Tinubu talking about why he doesn't want to be why he's against the disintegration, it's just like, okay, hypocrite, because when you were 33 at the time, it was in 1999, and the newspapers, you said that Nigeria needed to be separated. So it's like, he was actually trending on Twitter when he made that statement, and he said that he would have nowhere to go to, and people were like, my dear, you better go to Togo or somewhere else, because when we are done, you will not be able to contain it. And you'll be able to contain the heat, and it will be a lot. Yeah. So yeah, put what you think about it in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and also subscribe.